Today I fucked up by accidentally having phone sex with my ex-girlfriend's sister. Update: I'm hoping that no news means good news. We haven't heard anything suggesting that my ex's sister overheard us, though it's possible she's just keeping it to herself. Obligatory: this happened last night using a throwaway account because friends/family are aware of my main account. My girlfriend and I broke up in the early summer, and we've been sort of off and on then. Our friends and family are largely unaware that we have been in touch. Recently, we've been sexting more and sometimes having phone sex. Last night was one of those occasions. I was setting the mood with some in-depth foreplay. I spent several minutes describing how and where I would lather massage oil on her, and then got into detail about some of the kinkier sex stuff we would sometimes start with. As I was explaining, she was obviously pretty quiet, and I thought this was because I was doing a good job setting the mood. I suddenly heard a crashing sound, followed up by some loud breathing and my ex screaming "fuck" a bunch of times. "Is everything alright?" I asked. "My phone Bluetooth connected to the car. I lost you for a few minutes." "A few minutes? Who's in the car right now?" I asked. "My sister." "Did I just describe to your sister in excruciating detail that I wanted to lather her in oil and eat her ass out?" "I think so." Needless to say, the phone sex abruptly halted there. Her sister is gone for the next 3 days, so we have no idea if or what she did/did not hear. I am absolutely mortified. I will update this post if I find out what happened. Too long didn't read. My ex-girlfriend's phone connected to her car's Bluetooth speaker when her sister started the car, right when I was talking about lathering her in oil and eating her ass. Clarification 1. All these you're in comments would make more sense if my life was the setup to a porno. This is not one of those situations. Accidentally being privy to a private conversation is not consent from either party. Please learn about sex from somewhere other than Pornhub. Clarification 2. You're entitled to your opinion on whether it's a good idea to be in contact with your ex, but the purpose of this post was to share a story relevant to this sub, not to put my relationship under the microscope. Don't be surprised if I ignore your unsolicited advice. Clarification 3. Please learn how Bluetooth works. My ex's sister started the car mid-conversation. The car was roughly 30 feet from my ex's bedroom. My ex was not standing next to the car. Bluetooth range is pretty strong, and my ex's sister wasn't privy to the entire conversation from the beginning, only from when the car connected to the phone via Bluetooth. LPT, disable your Bluetooth as soon as you are done using it. No matter how embarrassing that is, it's funny AF. I'm sure it will become an inside joke in the future. You have to wait to find out what she heard? Why? Your ex doesn't have her number to text/call and ask. I think she doesn't want to ask. He's pretty embarrassed too. It's entirely possible that they never end up talking about it but have an unspoken understanding that it happened. I'm laughing at all the clarifications that shouldn't have to be there. But here we are. Think I've now reached the point where I've given up on engaging. I think the moral of the story is that any mention of sex is going to set off tense strangers on the internet. Start your next session with, "First I want to take off your shoes, then I want to take off your clothes, then I want you to turn off your Bluetooth." Oh yeah, you like that? Edit. Never thought my highest voted comment would be on phone sex. Thanks for the rewards, strangers. Today I fucked up by teaching my mother a game and getting her house raided by the police. So, due to the nature of the story that unfolded over several years, this not really is a today I fucked up, but rather a foo. To set the scene, I'm the guy most people don't like to play against while playing video games. If I like a game, I'll dig into the mechanics, learn what I can about the game and really overdo it. Now my mother. She regularly beat my ass in Warcraft 3 and Battle Realms. Now, back in 2014 I found this game, Ingress, and started to play it with my colleague. For those of you who don't know Ingress, it's the Pokemon Go predecessor and basically the same game, without the Pokemon skin. But the Pokestops are portals. There are 2 teams, and those teams can take over each other other's portals. Ow, I power leveled quite a bit and my colleague lost interest because I raced ahead. Incidentally, that week my mom visited. We walked about, and I showed her the game. She liked it, since she regularly has to walk her girlfriend's dog and would have something to do while playing Ingress. Now, she really dug into the game and played it for years, teaming up with other players to erect huge portal networks and so on, dominating the small city she's living in. Until one day, there were a few blue players downtown, who took down her portals. So whenever she did not have anything better to do, she hopped into her car, a big, black van, it needs to fit the dogs and so on, and drove around downtown in the evenings, stopping at the portals for 1 to 2 minutes to take them over, solve the rooms and so on. Incidentally, those portals were mostly located near the police station. Now picture this from the point of view of the police. A big, black van is driving up every other evening. Parking for a minute. Driving a bit. Parking for a minute. Driving a bit. Parking for a minute. And so on. Multiple times a week. If you look up the car holder you'd find she had a license to carry guns, not all that common in Germany, can't blame them to smell something fishy. So came the day that my mother, in her typical causal clothing, decided to open the door, cause the doorbell rang and stare into multiple police officers' faces, with multiple police cars blocking the entryway of her house, clad in riot gear and so on. Once the first shock wore off, and the police clearly didn't perceive her as a threat, cause, well, she just doesn't look threatening, at all, and told her why they were here, she just burst out into laughter that lasted for minutes. Once she got a hold of herself, she managed to explain the police why she was around every other evening, and all turned out well. Except for her neighbors, who probably still think she's some kind of criminal mastermind. XD. Doctor told my mother about the Pokemon Go predecessor. She got to play it and drove by the police station regularly to attack portals. Police decided she might be a criminal and raided her house. All turned out well. I used to play that game in AS. I stumbled into a rodeo only to find a cop taking selfies in the middle of the ring. Trespassing is a big no-no, of course. But there are trails all around this place that I've walked before. But they make the point just far enough away that your jeeps can't reach it. It was kind of like we caught each other red-handed. I just explained to him I was playing a game and he was obviously goofing off here too. He kept trying to get me to say I jumped the fence or something, but I would just vaguely point and say I just walked in. I didn't see any signs or anything, sorry. I guess don't be stupid and trespass, but for gosh sakes don't admit to doing it to a cop either. That could have ended poorly. I thought it was going to be something like you taught her everything you knew about a game, she destroyed some random 12-year-old in an online match, and the kid got mad and swatted her. Very glad to hear otherwise. I feel like there's got to be a your mom joke that would sum this up nicely. My ex and I shared a car, very old, sketchy lifted Suburban, and he used to pick me up from work. One day my boss didn't want me to leave because some man had been sitting in the lot watching everyone for a while, so my boss had been walking everyone out to their cars. Cue my boss's surprised laughter when he walks me to my car and it's the creepy man in the Suburban. Everyone met my husband the next day. Ha ha ha. Bless that boss for thinking about everyone's safety though. Little did she know that it was the police officers taking over her portals and they were coming for revenge. Today I fucked up by consulting WebMD before a doctor. I was dropping a deuce in the bathroom while browsing Reddit. Judging by the red circles forming on my knees, I knew I was in there too long. Time to wipe. But of course, as we all like to admire the work we've done in the bowl, I first examine my masterpiece, the poop, not my dick. Oh, this is new. The lemonade and my massive heap of shit are all red. Hemorrhoids? Nah, can't be. My shit came out like fresh toothpaste. Still, blood? Maybe. So naturally, I Google my ass, no pun intended, into WebMD. Kidney disease? Cancer? Okay, don't panic just yet. Do I have any other symptoms? Trouble sleeping, unexplained weight loss, etc. Fuck, etc. At this point I'm convinced I have late-stage cancer. My life flashes before my eyes, and my mind starts racing. I haven't told my parents that I love them in a while. I'm never going to reach my career goals. I was a total piece of shit to the guy who cut me off the other day. I didn't get to eat my leftover meatloaf. Ma. The Meatloaf, lol. Wedding Crashers was a good movie. Wait, fuck, I have cancer. My life was good, but it could have been better. So many regrets. My eyes start to water, and then it snowballs. I end up weeping like a banshee on the toilet. A grown-ass man with his pants around his hairy ankles. What a sight. A doctor, storms into the bathroom. WTF? Are you okay? I reply, I think I have cancer. My urine and or stool are red with blood. She pauses for a second and then bursts out laughing. Do you remember what we had for dinner? I'm annoyed at the unexpected lack of sympathy. What the hell is so funny, and why the fuck does that matter? Beets, we had beets. Apparently, some people can't break down the pigment, and it makes us shit out Kill Bill Volume 1. Who knew? Beats me. Too long didn't read. First, I shit in the toilet, it was red. Then, I shit my pants, it was sad. Then, my so shit on me, it was rad. Edit 1. Thank you for my first gold. You know who you are. You popped my cherry. Cheers to more things that are red. 2. Thank you for my first onslaught of awards. I know the points don't matter, but you made the meatloaf, ma. The meatloaf. Fuck exclamation mark dot dot the meatloaf taste better. 3. Thank you all for your love and support, sharing your empathizing stories. To everyone who has consumed beets, hot Cheetos, red velvet cake, Fruit Loops, or slushies, let's go shit a rainbow together. Maybe, we'll find a pot of Reddit gold. Some weird white shroot is rolling his eyes at you. Glad you aren't dying though, op. I knew a guy who only ate a jar of beetroot so his pee would be pink. Good times. Lamau. Happened to me once. I almost had a heart attack for a second, then I remembered I ate a crap ton of red dragon fruit the day before. I peed red and was like, do boys get periods? I was 12. Had something similar but with green diarrhea. Long story short, I forgot I was lactose intolerant and Trix cereal has green dye. Love the too long didn't read.